Hello, everyone. Just setting things up. I hope you're having a really good evening or day or whatever time it is. And I thank you for sharing this time with me, whether you're watching now or you're watching later. Let's just take a moment to reflect on things that might be clouding our minds and just relax a little. Take some deep breaths. And if you need some water, feel free to go get some. Find a comfy place to sit down. And we're just going to scribble today on a blank canvas. And just take this time to do nothing but relax. I say the word relax a lot. And that's because relaxation has become a really crucial thing for me. As one of the many people on this earth that has a day job and has concerns outside of the YouTubes, I find that making some time to reach back into your mind and find a creative space, or just to feel the little inklings and thoughts that are normally turned down during the day is really important. It's amazing how the little thoughts that are in the background really do kind of control us a lot. And our feelings towards ourselves, the world around us, can cause our thought patterns to change. It's not a very complex concept, but when you still your mind and you take a moment to just clear out the things you're trying to think about, you start to hear the things that you don't try to think about. They just keep trying to think themselves. And those funny little thoughts are the little thoughts that shape our whole way of seeing the world, our tendencies. And they can cause us to embrace things sometimes that we don't want to. Some of you are familiar with doom scrolling or just wasting all your time on something that you wish you hadn't spent so much time on. Or just feeling overwhelmed because there's so many thoughts in there and you don't know which one to pick. And so much that you can't do anything about. Hello. It's nice to see you guys in here. I was just discussing how it is that our quiet thoughts in the background can change the whole course of the way that we think and the things that we choose to do with our time. And how sometimes just taking time to relax and do very little can make such a big difference. So today I am going to start by doing very little and without any plan or really rationale for what I'm going to set out and scribble. I'm just going to start. So I will become small and I will become part of the corner. Thank you, Raf. I appreciate that. Yeah, Sarah Sanana did a really good job of creating, I think, a beautiful presence. And shout out to her for that and all she's doing for me in the background right now. She's going to give me hands that I can wiggle. And she's even going to give some of my other altars some presents for when they feel like they want to pop in. And I think that's beautiful. And so let's get started on doing just whatever comes to mind today. So I'm going to start with a blue sky. This is going to be maybe a very Bob Rossy kind of session. Just go to basics. Sounds nice. I hope you enjoy yourself. You know, dude sometimes takes a nap. I fully support that. Sorry, didn't mean to give away your secrets. Your secret sleeping spot. So, I hope you're both having a good day. And you don't have too many thoughts to let go of, but maybe you do. I know with me, more than anything, it's just... Well, it's 12 a.m. right now. Yeah. Well, sun's down for me too. I know with me I have lots of little thoughts that crop up, and when I'm quiet and think, I hear, of course, lots of chatter. But I also just hear all kinds of little thoughts that don't want to go away. And yeah, homework. Homework is important. I'll try not to be too distracting during your homework session. Maybe just a gentle voice to help you chill. Thinking of eating something. What are you thinking of eating? Let's draw some other bank around the edge here. This is turning out to be... Oh, actually, I've turned my sky into water. Because I wasn't paying attention. That's okay. Let's recover my sky. I am the most distractive doodler. Bread with chocolate. Like Nutella. Crust of chocolate. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. You don't want to eat it yet? You're gonna save it? Maybe you'll savor it more when you do eat it. That makes sense. I'm going to put some other colors in here. Maybe these almost look like sand dunes at this point. Maybe I'll go with that. I'm always drawing sand. Secret desire to sneak out to the desert or something. Okay. Decide where my skyline is. Thinking of fishing. Finishing the next drawing of a rapier, but I still haven't decided the form of the guard. Yeah. I have a rapier that has, I casually mentioned, that has a very heavy pommel, and most people don't prefer that, but I really like the counterweight. I'm going to zoom out a bit so that I can think more about the whole picture. I really like the counterweight on it. I find that it lets me do some unexpected things. But the guard is largely a style choice and what you get used to. Yeah, I have a couple of rapiers. I haven't done any tournaments with them, but I do practice with them in sparring in HEMA. And I wouldn't say I'm an expert by any means, but I have learned how to hold my own, what not to do, so that I can not get disarmed like I used to all the time. So that I can use my measure appropriately. Stay away from the opponent when I need to. Get on the strong of their blade. Everything is time and distance with a rapier, like it is with most swords. When your opponent lunges in, you go back, and you try to control their blade to create an opening. And a lot of rapier work is footwork, therefore, to go back and forth and try to set something up so that you can get an opening and get in. Yeah, I've been doing HEMA for a couple of years. I haven't been very much at practice lately. Things have just been very busy, but I am going to get back to it here before too long. I do love the club, and I've spent time with people there that I enjoy. I wonder what I'm going to do here. Maybe I'll lighten my colors a little bit. Create some kind of a sandbar, an island out here. Maybe something in the distance like this is a bay. I'm going to start some music and bring up that volume a little bit. Maybe like that, so it doesn't drown me out like I've done on other streams. There we go. Yeah, I think my preferred fencing hemo weapon is still a longsword. Ah, sabers. Sabers are interesting. I never much got into sabers, but a lot of people really like them. A lot of very serious people doing saber fighting. I get beaten very fast with a saber. And there are like all these sets of rules with a saber too. I'm going to adjust my volume a little bit so that it's not blasting my ears out. Lots of interesting rules with saber about what you can do, what you can't do in a competition. But like I said, a lot of people really enjoy it. Let's see. I have a tendency to want to put some greenery in. Maybe I'll start by first painting the leaves. Prussian School. Okay, the book I got is from the Prussian School, but it's written in a very weird English. The descriptions are quite vague, translating from German to English to Spanish. Interesting. So, the school I attend follows Mayor, who I can't remember what century Mayor's from. I think from the 15th century, 14th century. Shame on me, but Mayor is German, and he focused on martial combat using longsword, rapier, well, not rapier so much, but Duzak and some other weapons. I'm being very vague because honestly I kind of go like maybe I don't pay as close attention as I should. And it's also been a while since I studied from the books. But I'm just doodling away over here. Not necessarily a very good plan. Almost looks childish, and I enjoy that. I don't know what kind. These almost look like deciduous trees, and they're growing on these deserty looking islands. It's kind of strange. You would expect palm trees, but that's okay. I'm enjoying the company. Yeah. I've been to a couple tournaments and I've only competed in one. And I've done small sword and long sword in tournament. It is very exerting. Not the least because you're wearing a whole lot of padding. It's like if you've ever seen Olympic fencing, but with like 5 times as much padding on, so you don't get hurt. I did not win, Dad. I didn't even get close. But I had a lot of fun, and I had a coach in my corner, and it was a really cool experience to go and have somebody else watch me fence and give me tips and all that. I guess I'm drawing some ice plant or something coming down over here. Really staying true to the stream, which is Yap and Doodle, just yapping and doodling. I think one of the coolest things about going to a tournament or something is just the anticipation when you're on your way there and setting up and getting ready and going through all the motions. You feel special. It feels really like a unique experience. When you think about all the people from the past who were dueling or fighting for their lives, and the neat thing about HEMA is that you're studying from some of the same materials that they did. You're trying to interpret and get back to the roots of the martial tradition. Not unlike somebody who studies Eastern martial arts and that kind of thing. Of course, let's play with some overlay. So I've spent a lot of time listening to binaural beats, especially when I'm driving. I'm trying to think, trying to feel things. Sometimes they feel like they're from the distant past, taking me across oceans, and then journeys that feel so familiar and yet distant like a dream. Kind of like when you're just falling asleep. But I try not to fall asleep while I'm driving. But I have been using the opportunity to try to feel more relaxed. So I just came back from a trip to Boston, and there's still a lot of snow on the ground there. And it's, fortunately I missed the big snowstorm that was there. Otherwise that would have really complicated my travel, right? I'm sure many of you are dealing with inclement weather. And over here in California, we just don't have weather. You go outside and you don't feel your skin. There's just no weather. We have lots of rain right now, actually, which you will definitely feel on your skin. As I had to go out to the dentist today for a trip, for a little work. And drove through the rain. And one thing about California is that there's a lot of people who just do not know how to drive in the rain. Of course. So, times it was slow. Extremely cold on the nights and intense radiation in the day. I see. That sounds fascinating. I actually really like cold weather, and I don't know if it's just because I'm from a place that has no weather. But, so you're basically living like you are in the desert. That is amazing. Alright, so I've set up a couple of things here, and I'm going to adjust some curves to make it look a little more dramatic. And then go with that color palette. I have a number of little techniques I do like this to sort of try to get things out of my head and then work with them to further inspire me. If I don't set out with an idea, I like to play a lot with what I'm doing. This reminds me of some Nintendo game. Some folks that come from other cities can pass out if they are not careful. Yeah, real danger. Going somewhere where you're not used to. And yeah, that can be because of all kinds of factors, right? Maybe you're from a place with extreme temperatures, but there's always humidity, or maybe there's no humidity where you're from, and you go someplace that has the same temperatures, but the humidity really gets to you, where you're not accustomed to how quickly conditions can change. I recently took a trip to Arizona and decided I was going to do a desert hike. And I had a very good experience actually because I was prepared. I had a lot of water on my back, and I went out at 2 in the afternoon and it was over 100 degrees, and I moved very slowly. I monitored my heart rate. I went from small bit of shade to another small bit of shade. Let the wind pick up and dry off my sweat. And crept over this mountain. And I felt like a Fremen of Dune. One the desert ways. Or so I told myself. And it was really enriching. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, everything was just on a razor edge. You know, between exhaustion and survival. I really like environments like that. I tend to like things that challenge your sensibilities about whether you are doing something risky or safe. I don't lead a very risky life necessarily, but I like things that make you think about, you know, little things that you do in your life. The way that you move or carry yourself and decisions that you make so that you feel them more. You said your stats are like for the X4 weak to cold, X4 strong towards heat. You like to take sun baths with black clothes. It calms me. But the moment it gets slightly cold, I die. You're kind of the person who goes into a sauna with all your clothes on. I knew somebody like that. It feels amazing for a little bit. That's for sure. You just feel completely embraced. I tend to like extremes, you know, like I've been saying. I like the desert, and I also like things like going snow camping and, you know, finding shelter and that kind of thing. I'm a little shelter-seeking creature. I see my opacity's down. Let's change that. Start doing some interesting things with texture. Just doodling away. Let me have some water. And you should too. And tell you what to do like your mother. I know that'll be really popular with one of you. I'm so sorry. Oh, something I really want to get back to is recording sounds. I've already done so many rain sounds that I didn't want to. No EPs for me. Only slept for a short time, too awake to go back. What's that mean? We draining the ocean with this one. You guys are silly. What's my silly face? I really love that you both showed up tonight. You know, nobody, I shouldn't admit this, but nobody was in my last stream. Which is probably just as well, because I had some technical difficulties. As I am learning how to operate operate a live 2D model and manage all the other stuff that you have to do along with it. Let's do another overlay layer. And I do overlay layers just to kind of lighten and darken. Oh, you don't have to feel bad about not joining. I do these things almost for my own benefit to relax and think differently than I do maybe when I'm all by myself. I find that even the perception of people being around sometimes changes in that third space way. You start thinking differently about what it is that you're doing. Because I certainly have painting I do when I'm alone. And painting I do out here. And they're a little bit different sometimes. Come to think of it, I haven't really painted too much in the VC or posted anything recently. And I need to get back to that. So what could I do here? I could try painting some structures. Maybe there's a post here. On top of the post. A bit of a shadow underneath it. Maybe there's another post up here leaning over. Of course, if it's leaning over, it probably has a little more light on it. Add a stray mark there. Doing everything in one layer. Somebody said that was bravery, but I just kind of get lazy sometimes when I don't have an idea in my head. And I just let the canvas just kind of guide me, especially with digital where, there's not as many consequences. And yeah, not sure how to follow that up really. So this isn't going to be a really long stream, but I am going to do this like 3 days in a row, and so the idea is to try to quickly get something out of my mind doesn't have to be very complicated. Maybe just a scene like this. Perfect nap time. Yeah, I think my Saturday streams will be a bit longer and probably I'll focus more on an actual topic or something I'm long term working on. But these streams will just be more truly Yap and Doodle. I guess the bottom side of this cloud really shouldn't be that dark. It's really an odd shaped cloud too. It's a UFO. It is. Let's just like complete that thought, huh? Let's put some little windows on it here. Okay, there we go. And let's draw a... Let's ruin this more. Let's have... Oh. Let's have this weird beam coming down from it, right? This beam of light is just coming down. Yeah, that's good. Let's just lose our mind completely. Yeah, that's excellent. UFO has any cheese? Yeah, in fact, like it's just raining cheese down right now. Here we go. There's just giant chunks of cheese just spraying all over the island. There's a huge pile down here because it's been really busy. There we go. And there's just cheese coming down from the UFO. It's just full of cheese. And you know, I have to make sure the cheese has like proper shadows and whatnot. This is a big pile of cheese. You know, it's just I don't know what I'm doing. This is the dream. See, this is really why I want to stream. I just wait for people to come in here, then ruin the picture. I don't know what all this green stuff is, but it's unidentified flying cheese. Yeah. Yeah, let's what could I do to make this even cheesier? Why not? Let's just make this UFO like a giant piece of cheese. Okay, so this is a giant tactical alien cheese. Right, yeah, that's good. Okay. And breadsticks and cheese dip. Oh, that's excellent. Yeah, you know what? This cheese is good, but I want to make sure it has some holes in it, you know. We'll give it some dimension by giving it some shading on this side, you know. Alright. You're hungry now, okay, yeah. Let's do a giant bowl of cheese dip right here. Yeah, that's good. course, because I have to do everything in a charcoal brush. Let's apply some shading to the bowl so that it has some depth. Okay, and then let's add the cheese. I don't know, it's a good cheesy color. Like, yeah, it's like, well, it's cheddar, see, and that's yellow color added, alright, so let's add some cheese in the bowl. There we go. Lactose intolerant people would be obliterated just seeing the flying cheese. Yes, they would. And, what are we? Breadsticks. Yeah, that's right. Okay, we need some giant breadsticks. No, that's a terrible breadstick. Jesus. Let's work on that color. We need some, like, more golden colors for the breadsticks, right? Alright, so I'm gonna hash out some breadsticks here structurally. Alright, so the breadsticks are here. And, you know, we'll shade them a little bit so that they actually do look like breadsticks. Okay, good. And there's one that's like kind of on the edge there. That's good. And we'll overlay so that we can add some shadows and whatever, right? Okay, there we go. Add more shadow around the bowl. And, you know, some extra whatever to the cheese. It's a little cheesier, goopier. There we go. There we go. Okay. Let's merge that. Okay. Not gonna lie, I want to get one wheel of cheese in the future. Those are very rich in flavor. Oh man, I love those. I'm gonna merge this layer because I mean this is the picture. I love those videos where they're cutting open a wheel of cheese and with all the special tools and everything that they use. That is amazing. I love those. They talk about how it smells and how it tastes, and those videos are amazing. I want to go to an actual like cheese opening, whatever you call it. It's probably got some amazing Italian or French word that for the actual like ceremony of cutting open a wheel. Noted. Yeah. Thanks for giving me some inspiration here. Yeah, I should continue on this. This is why this is really the joy of people showing up to the channel, because you know I can get some input that really matters, not the silly ideas I come up with. Like this is really, you know, peak here. That's good. Yeah, cheese factory. I recommend eating it with another thing on the side. You know, I discovered that salami, good salami, and pistachios are actually really good. I don't know how this became a 3 a.m. snack, but it did. Cheesy stream. Absolutely. Maybe there's some cheese on the ground too, just slopped around in the sand. as it usually is on the cheese beach. Let's be bold with our shadows. And let's round out our breadsticks a little bit better. These look like logs, like driftwood. But instead, trust me, they're breadsticks. Speed paint breadsticks. String cheese. String cheese. 3 a.m. string cheese. In the light of the stove. It does not get much better than that when you're just eating lunch meat and string cheese or something and your mind just goes out into outer space while your mouth is just consuming. It's almost as good as having shower thoughts. And yeah, string cheese can make a good guitar. I don't know about that. Can you really shred on string cheese? Source, I made it. That's incredible. This is me. I'm glad you guys are here for this. This has absolutely made my night. I'm so pleased right now. I feel like these breadsticks might need to have some pretzel treatment, maybe like little salt crystals or something like that. Like, I don't know how you feel about salt on your breadsticks, but they just need something else, you know. They really do seem to be pretzels now. Oh, yeah, you kidding? This is like way more entertaining than painting some boring beach. When people leave me alone, you know, I mean, it's just gonna be something meh. I like a good corrupting influence. But I can't say that, you know, cheese, dip, and breadsticks is corrupting. I can't. I will not be caught dead with that opinion. Cheese sticks and breadsticks and cheese. Cheese sticks and bread. Dip. Cheese sticks and bread dip it is. Oh, what the hell? Okay. Let's focus. I wonder if I can paint a picture. Cheese sticks and bread dip. Amazing. Yeah. Could I try some salami? I don't know if this is going to gross everybody out. I never really thought about the color of salami, but maybe kind of like that. Put some salami laying here, and then maybe the log is here. That almost looks like bologna. I will fix that. But first, let's just focus on the base color. Let's just put a salami here. This is getting a little spicy. I better fix this soon. All right, let's give this more of a. Oh God, I don't think I fixed this. I don't think I made it better. Keep fixing. Keep fixing. I will never be able to monetize now. Goodbye monetization. Alright, look. It's charcuterie, alright. Have a nice stream. Just draw a pizza with a salami and then delete the pizza. Wow, that's brilliant. I can't believe. Alright, well, for sure, salami will have little bits in it like this, and it will have peppers and seasoning in it. And so I'm gonna go for like a deep brown for that. All right. Okay. Our stream clip has been made. Oh my God. I'm doomed. I'm cooked. Okay. Tears of joy coming on. Okay, very good. All right. Let me check on my person here. Okay. Perfect. All right. I think what I'm going to do is finish this for tonight by cropping like this. Say image, crop to selection. Oh, no, I went a little bit too wide. I'm not sure what just happened. Let's undo that. Let's flatten the image. Alright, now let's try that. No, interesting. That's okay. Let's do this another way. It's interesting that it wants to make it larger. I've never seen Credit do that before. Huh. Well, let's save. Snack Beach. Alright, and let's Let's export. Alright. Alright. I'm going to make myself very large now. I'm going to get my halo out. And I am going to wish you all very pleasant day, night, or whatever time of day it is for you. I wish you peace and tranquility. And I hope that the world sends you joy. This is Origin. Goodbye for now.